question. And you, based on the examples that I think you need to have multiple, because why can't a company without these subsidiaries use consolidation? Why we need a consolidation, a BPC to run something like that in a company? Why company should buy a BPC software? What is the advantage?
You don't need to buy.
No, what I'm saying is, what is the
you don't need to.
What is the advantages having a BPC system versus a IBM TM1?
It depends. Do you drive a car?
Yes.
Which car, which brand, which model, which year?
I drive a BMW 2010.
You drive BMW. So if somebody asks you why you are not driving Mercedes-Benz, you have your own reasons, because you like BMW, their features, and you test drive it, your mileage, your investment, the time when you are buying, so a lot of things. Likewise, not necessarily you need to go TM1. TM1 is more small tool. If you are not a SAP shop, if a company is not a SAP shop, you don't have ECC systems, you don't have BW systems, you don't have HANA, you don't have business objects, you don't have any other kind of SAP products in your shop, you are just a standalone company, you can go buy your TM1 and run it. But if you are a SAP shop, you have tons of SAP modules running on your landscape, and you are trying to get TM1 fit into this environment, is a big mess. You are trying to break your head and you are trying to kill yourself. So likewise, Hyperion is pretty hardware specific. You need Sun HP servers for that. It won't run on regular servers, which are pretty expensive. So to run this software, the mandatory prerequisite is you have to buy certain kind of servers, where that is another investment for companies. And unless there is a demand or need, they don't really put much on the hardware. They want to go with existing hardware and just enhancing or upgrading the existing hardware, but not buying totally new hardware for the sake of one small project. And also same thing, when you are not a SAP shop, then you don't go with Hyperion. So there are different kind of things that can be done, and this particular BPC has more Excel based interaction. So pure Excel based interaction, and now they have web interaction, web reports and web inputs and web commentary. Most of the things like BPFs and other stuff can be done in web, and it has compatibility with BW. Its BPC is nothing but BW. Most of the natural BW functionality can be used here, and unlike Hyperion, unlike TM1, these things are driving users more fancy when they attend any kind of demonstrations. So that is one big thing. And finally, eventually these are small players. TM1, when they look into market spread, 100 companies who are doing consolidations, example in US, so 70% companies are going with BPC and 20% TM1 and Hyperion. So, and 10% are custom developed kind of consolidation. So it's more peer pressure. Other companies look each other and say, we can have that. So that is also another factor influences them.
That means when you say if you're,
they can go with different.
No, when you say if you're having a BPC, you must have to have a HANA, ECC, or something like whatever subsystem, or
all you need for BPC is a BW system. So that's the only mandatory. you don't need to have them, but what I'm saying is most of companies are having HANA. So now they're taking, BPC is two versions. One is a regular BPC, the other one is HANA powered BPC. So people are trying to take advantage of HANA powered BPC. So I work on HANA powered BPC project right now. So I'm not working from past year and a half, I'm not on regular BPC. I moved on to HANA. So because we have 13 million records that need to be processed in BPC for planning, so it is a big chunk. Without HANA, it's going very, very bad. Performance-wise is pretty bad. So we upgraded to HANA and the speeds are a little different. So my point is, company starts with something. They say, I'm BW, I only do BW. Then immediately they say, we need BPC. Then they say, I need HANA. It becomes a big SAP shop. Then you never get rid of this SAP and you can go to TM1 that easily. So, or Hyperion easily. At the same time, converting TM1 guy into BPC or Hyperion guy into BPC, also it's a big capital investment and a lot of big drive. Steering committees and other people, the CIO, Chief Information Officer, has to have vision and approvals and all those stuff. So why they pick BPC? We don't play much part. I mean, we are not doing pre-sales or sales activities, product sales.
Yeah,
mostly we are on the application or development side. So we will be hired to help them either functionally or technically. So we will be playing a functional BPC consultant role or technical consultant role, but we don't sell product to client. Why?
No, I understand that. I understand, but if someone asks you, because you're an architect level guy or you're doing a BPC architecture, they will ask you, why do I prefer a BPC product rather than any other product?
Yeah, in that case, my recommendation is, SAP BPC shop, you have compatibility with other data extractions, loads, and then any kind of transformations, conversions, all those kind of activities. It's pretty easy because they're native. SAP BW, BPC, and other SAP stuff will come some native functionality and ease of Excel. BPC has Excel functionality, ease of web. There is a lot of web, so I can show you a little bit of that stuff. So this is the web here, and you have web library where you can build your own workspaces and reports, input forms, dashboards, everything here. So this is the very happening thing in BPC right now, the website. So this particular web is instrumental and signature of BPC. Now other products have this good website, and also you have your SAP functionality. So it is purely Excel. Your Excel has all functions. You have all sort of input templates and everything, and you have a data manager. This particular data manager is where either you pull data into BPC or push data back from BPC into other SAP or non-SAP sources. Either you want to extract or retract data, this data manager is helpful. You have all transformation files that helps you in an easy way. So anything you want to do, certain kind of transformations, when external data is coming internally into BPC, you just do the mapping. So if you have conversions, you can also add those conversions on top of this. So there are multiples of advantages on this BPC. I will go pitch in on those areas mostly. So the whole idea is generating these financial statements out from consolidation, and every parent has its own financial statements. Every subsidiary has its own financial statements in general lines. But as a BPC consultant, when we are helping a consolidation project, the goal is for parent and subsidiary, we have to generate a consolidated balance sheet statement or financial statements together. So instead of having their own, we should be able to deliver a consolidated statement. So that is our our main goal. So just to give you a quick glance on different SAP BPC product tool. This product was initially started by a company called Everest. That's first company ever built BPC. Then that company got took over by OutlookSoft. So OutlookSoft launched this product. Then SAP took over from OutlookSoft and they renamed this as BPC. So the whole old product Everest converted to OutlookSoft converted to BPC. From there, BPC started with different versions. Now we are at 10.1 powered by HANA. So that is where the latest version is. And then we'll talk more technical architecture in our upcoming sessions. What is the difference between old style and new style, and where do we stand with HANA? What are the advantages we take? So to your question, you asked me, if a client asks you why BPC, these are the bullet points. So we discussed very early in our session multi-dimensionality. I showed you different master data, entities, products, and categories, time, and whatnot. It might be material, or product groups, or SKUs, and employee, position, grade, whatnot. Any master data. That multi-dimensionality, it supports multi-dimensionality. And second important feature of BPC, it helps you multi-source data handling. In a report, when you are building a BPC report, it may not be BPC data all the time. In the same report, you can pull a BW data into the report. You can show BPC data and BW data, or you can show some custom data source, some third-party data source, or you can show a normal CSV file or a kind of other data source. So you can do multi-source data handling in one report. For a user, for his naked eye, he don't know where data is coming from behind the scenes. All he see is what he need report. So that is another big feature that is available right now in BPC 10 and 10.1, the multi-source data handling. And then dynamic reporting. So dynamic reporting keep changing your rows. So you build same report, but your India guy will use same thing, your Mexico guy will use same thing, and your Canada, whoever in the country will use same reports dynamically. So it expands according to their local rules. It's one report, but behaves so differently depending upon who is logging in, what is their security, what is their read and write access, what are the access profiles, what tasks they can do. It depends upon them. It's so dynamic reporting, and mostly Excel based reporting. If you know Excel, you know how to do worksheet calculations. Example, when you are writing a BPC report or input template. So they look like this. So you have your report. So all you see is different kind of formulas, Excel formulas, and then you try to build it in a. So you see this different formulas here invisibly, and then trying to get a meaningful way. There is a lot of hidden work that we will do. So a lot of formulas like EPM, copy range. So a little bit of Excel work and EPM functions. There are certain kind of functions here. This is EPM copy range function, what report it is, what row it is, all those kind of things. And you can try to see how many reports we can build in one report. There is unoccupied, this one, and then is failed, there is failed. So I will pull this guy a little bit. This is count, there is one more here, and there is unoccupied, position, and save. So there are multiple reports you can write, but it looks, for a naked eye, it looks like a single report, but invisibly there are 4 different complex reports here. So this is more Excel based formulas and Excel based EPM functions, those kind of formulas, and little bit of Visual Basic. So you might, depending upon what kind of work you are doing on a project, you might need certain kind of Visual Basic here. So which I can show you on some other template how the Visual Basic is. So if you look into this, there is a kind of Visual Basic. It's not true VBA, but it's more BPC delivered. So there is certain kind of BPC actions called after refresh, before save, these kind of things. So we will be using this particular FPM Excel client, which is BPC specific one, and then we will try to write certain kind of functionality. So this is the kind of Visual Basic code that goes on top of Excel, and then this particular code will do some kind of action on top of this templates. So that is pretty easy, pretty Excel based. So a lot of control on top of things what we are doing. Another one is script logic. It's very easy. Script logic, if you are writing certain kind of script logic for any kind of data calculations or data manipulations or any data massaging or any kind of other things, it is so easy. As long as you know multi-dimensionality, all you have to do is pick your particular model script. So I will take one of those. So you will write particular script logic for it. So your script looks like this. So you have the scope of the data, what you are reading and where you are writing back and what all you are trying to do. So you are doing any particular expression. If your expression you are zeroing out, they want to delete this particular records in this place. So likewise, this is easy multi-dimensional language. Example, I showed you earlier, product is one master data. So product will go here, entity will go here, and then category go here, time goes here. So you have to pick your dimensions and try to scope them and do the logic on top of this. So it's front end, and as a BPC consultant, you and me has to have very specific knowledge on top of this. But when you look into a client side, client easily can handle this script logic. Once you write script logic for him and you leave the project, but business people can handle the script logic. So that is another advantage of BPC product. As a product wise, it is easy to learn. And security, so unlike real SAP products, as you know, this product is not really from SAP, not true SAP product. It came from Everest, and then it came into SAP. So it is a little different animal, one of the outside product. So what they did was they put security inside BPC. Generally, security for all SAP systems is handled by SAP security guys dedicatedly. But for BPC, you and me, consultants, has to do 50% of security by ourselves. So that is another particular activity that we should be handling by ourselves. So we don't need to run to a security guy and then ask him to do any kind of activity. There are different types of different kind of status locks. So work status locks in BPC. So this work status locks are pretty important in business standpoint. When you look into this work status, there are different kind of status available. What exactly this status is, when you have particular kind of cube in BPC, this is cube which has data in it. Then if you want to lock out entire cube data, so you got a very big key on top of it and you lock this entire thing, nobody can enter into this cube anymore. Nobody can tamper the data. You have one big lock. But the other style of locking is you want to put one lock here on this data and you want to put another lock on top of this area. You want to put another lock here and you want to put another lock here. So in this case, any users who are trying to handle planning data, they cannot go here, they cannot go here, they cannot go here, they cannot go here. It's small locks, but they can go to rest of the place. So depending upon the situation where your planning cycle is, where you are right now in the planning cycle, sometimes it might be a central lock where you have to lock entire data in one shot, or it might be small locks, particular data slices or data regions that need to be locked, and rest of the things need to be accessed by users. We have extreme control in BPC on this that can be handled by these work states. So these are your locks. What kind of lock you are trying to put can be handled very good way, in a sensitive way. Allocations. So this particular allocations is very important feature of any planning tool. If you are buying a new planning tool, you have to have these allocations. So what does this allocations means? Let's imagine that Shiva decided to give a party tonight. So he invited Sai, he invited Srinu, he invited Badrinath, so he invited everybody. So they went to a bar very nicely and Shiva told guys, have very nice blast, enjoy. So Shiva took 5 beers, then Srinu 3, and then Badri say 4. Okay, Shiva had another 4, and then they eat everything very nicely, and the bill is $250. So everybody is very tired after party. Nobody is willing to pay. So Shiva jumped ahead and said, hey buddy, don't worry, I will pay this bill tonight. Tomorrow I will send you how much you need to pay me. So he used his credit card, he paid $250 and you left the restaurant. Next day morning, now Shiva is more delicate. So what he did was, Shiva is 1, Sai is 2, Srini is 3, Badri is 4. So there are 4 people attended this party last night. So what Shiva thought was, let's divide this by 4 and then equal amounts and send it to all these 4 people. Okay, and he sent, hey buddy, you need to pay me this. Last night you attended a party, you did not pay the bill, now I am charging back from you. Then Sai got upset. Sai said, hey Siva, I only had 2 beers. So let's assume it's Srini. Okay, so Srini is upset. Srini said, hey, I had only 3 beers. Why are you charging me by 4? I only want to pay my 3 beers. I don't want to pay for his 4th beer. I don't want to pay for his 5 beers. I only want to pay for my 3 beers. That's it. So now Shiva got a big pushback. So he went back. His logic is not going to help because Srini is now not willing to pay. Now out of this 250, he need to find a ratio, 4 beers ratio here, 5 beers ratio here, 3 beers ratio here, and 4 beers ratio here, and send the bill accordingly. So whoever drink how many or whoever eat whatever, exactly they want bill for that only. They don't want to pay for anybody else. So the logic, that is called allocation. The whole point is sometimes your allocation might be 250 by 4, straight 4, or sometimes it might be 250 by 3, 4, 5, and 4. So you need to go in this ratio. So whoever need to supposedly pay in relevant to that, you need to allocate only that particular ratio, that particular percentage, or that particular factor. So that's the allocation. So When there are multiple countries involved across the globe, and they're doing a lot of activities or a lot of planning and forecasting, this allocations plays a major role, and planning tools should have certain kind of allocation feature in it. So allocations can be done in two different ways. Either you can do with this script logic here, or if your script logic is not helping to do complex allocations, then the additional thing that helps is the baddies. So SAP Bpc has a baddies which supports certain kind of ABAP programming. You can write a particular kind of ABAP programs which are called baddies on top of this Bpc, so to get your allocations done. Or there is another way that companies deal with. You put 30% script logic and you put 70% baddies, so to load the balance to achieve the performance and flexibility of the tool. Depends what you are doing. Some people don't like ABAP. They say we don't want ABAP. They go with 100% script logic. Some people don't like script. They say we love ABAP. We go with 100% baddies. Some people say no, let's go intelligently. Let's put load on both of them. It depends what they're doing, but it has very good power to help in allocations, which is one of the most requirement for planning tool. Then currency translations. You are dealing with a lot of local currencies. Every country has local currency, and you need to convert that into reporting currency or transaction currency or group currencies. There might be a lot of conversions required from local currencies to reporting, transaction or group currencies, so which does require certain kind of rates to be maintained in the system. So that particular rates will help you to do this. So those are more planning particular options here up to here. And this ownership maintenance is consolidation. You just saw a few minutes back, there is a subsidiary. A parent owns a subsidiary 50%. So sometimes it is X%. We don't know how much it owns. So parent owns subsidiary in a different ratios. That is maintained in this ownership maintenance in Bpc. So there is particular kind of ownership maintenance here. So this is not enabled for me. My security doesn't permit me to open up that. So once you have consolidation feature, you get that ownership maintenance on top of this, and users can use that. So I don't have consolidation